All right, good morning, everybody. Happy snow/cold day. As promised, I'm going to walk you through a couple of Punnet square examples from our packet and from our lab. So this will be good if you're still really confused on some of the vocab terms or you're not quite sure on how to put all of these things together. I'm going to walk through it nice and slow. The examples are right from your homework. So this kind of gives you a chance to go ahead and correct those things if you need to. Remember, both of these things, both the packet that looks like this, okay, so I do have a packet, it's a different student, so I'm not going to flip, so just keep that person's name out of there. And the lab with the mice, with the coin flipping, are both due when school resumes. So I took this first example from your packet. It is the second page that says, purple flowers are dominant over white. And you have to identify the genotypes and the phenotypes, which I forgot, so I'll put those right over here. Okay, so first things first, we have homozygous dominant. And always remember, we have these three terms, and homo always means same. And dominant, the one helpful hint I can give you on dominant is, what does it mean if you dominate in sports? Like you completely dominated, you won the game, you were the bigger, better team. That is similar to this word, right? Dominant. So think when you see same and dominant, you're thinking bigger, better. Okay, so it's the same. These genotypes are going to be the capital letters. Then we have our homozygous recessive, which means homo means same, so once again we have same and recessive, so these are going to be both of our lowercase letters. And then we have heterozygous, okay, so hetero, we have different, we're going to have one of each. So always remember that our genotype, that always means our genes, okay, so these are always going to be letters, where phenotype is always going to be the physical appearance that you're associating with. So first, before we even start this practice problem, we need to determine what letter we're using, okay? In this example, purple flowers are dominant. The dominant trait is what you always choose for your letter. Well, purple is our dominant trait, so we're going to use P's in this example. So for our genotype for homozygous dominant, we're going to do capital P and capital P. That phenotype, that physical appearance is going to be dominant, so it's going to be purple. Okay. Now we have homozygous recessive, which we said was same and little. So we're going to have two lowercase p's. Make sure that me and Mrs. Plato can tell what is lowercase and uppercase. Recessive trait is going to be white. So we're going to go ahead and write that under phenotype. Okay, heterozygous, we already determined is one of each. Once again, make sure we can tell your capitals from your lowercases. And that is, once again, heterozygous in this scenario is going to display the dominant trait, which we already said was purple. So that's all you have to do for the top half of that sheet. There's several examples just like that. You're determining the genotype, the type of genes, and the phenotype, the physical appearance. So now we have to go down to this practice problem where it says there's a homozygous dominant parent and a homozygous recessive parent. We need to make the Punnet square, determine the genotype in the percent and the phenotype in the percent. So homozygous dominant, which is really great because we just said up here what that looks like. So I always like to write above my problem what that's going to look like so I don't forget. And a homozygous recessive, which up above we already said was little p, little p. So now we're going to make our Punnet square. Remember that parents take up sides, entire sides. So I'm going to put my big P, and then my little p, little p. And then I'm going to complete my square. Once again, coming down and over. Capital letters always go first. Down and over, so we have big P, little p, big P, little p, big P, little p. Okay, so now you can see in this particular example that all of our offspring have one particular genotype. So when we're talking about genotype, we're talking about genes, we're talking specifically about these letters. Well, there's only one option. It's big P, little p, and it's 100%. So I told my class, my second hour, to think of this Punnett square like your 4 quarters and $1. If you have 1 quarter, you have 25 cents, right? So if only one of these had one genotype, you'd be 25%. 3 quarters is 75. All 4 is 100. 2 is 50, and so on. Okay? In case math is not your friend and you're not very good with fractions, think of it like quarters and $1. Your phenotype, we set up here that the heterozygous is going to show the dominant trait. So they are going to be purple, and that's 100%. Okay? So that is this particular example. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, upload this one, and then I will make another video with the second example.